So the next thing I want to talk about is three main types of systems. There are open systems, open, closed, and isolated. And again, when we talk about systems, we're talking about energy and matter flow. So I have materials here. Sorry about that. It's really, I should probably say matter. All right. And so let's define these things. So an open system is going to have energy will flow through. There we go. But and matter flows through. So there's lots of, ecosystem is an example. Me, you, an organism, a cell, a whole bunch of different things. You could, population, all of these things have inputs and outputs of both matter and energy. Now let's look at a closed system. A closed system, you have energy flowing through, but matter cycles. There's no input and output of matter. Now examples of that there. Well, I told you what the examples of open systems are already. Examples of closed systems are, well, we got the Earth, where you have energy flowing through, the sun's energy, and you have the sun's energy leaving. There's been a transformation, turning the sun's electromagnetic energy into heat. But then, if you look at matter, the matter mostly cycles in. You have the water cycle, you have the carbon cycle, you have all these cycles of matter that are going in. Now, technically, there are some things that come in, like, meteors come in once in a long while, whack the Earth. That adds a little bit of matter in. You got a little space dust coming in here. That's going in. You might have a little dust and stuff leaving the Earth. All right, but, it's such a small amount compared to the size of the Earth that scientists don't, we are not going to even consider that input or output. So I'm going to all right. Nope, and nope. So, matter is going to be, no matter is going to be input, no matter is going to be output for our purposes. So, closed system. Another cool closed system is these little aquarium things that are completely sealed. I don't know how they do it, but it's really cool. And so, and again, energy comes in, sun's energy comes in, heat leaves. So that's another form of the sun's energy. So there's, again, that's a transformation. And then you got these little shrimp and this algae. This is the shrimp. Here's the algae. And they go through the whole cycle of the shrimp gives out O2. Hard to see that. O2. Then the algae takes in, the shrimp take output CO2. The algae inputs CO2. The algae outputs O2, and it goes right back to the shrimp. And so it's a complete cycle. And other matter, too. The nutrients that the shrimp poopies out, that is absorbed by the algae, and so on and so forth. So, closed system. No matter is leaving or entering. Another cool one was Biosphere 2. This was a huge construction out in the West, Arizona or New Mexico. And the idea was they wanted to make a completely closed system to study if they could actually build one of these things on Mars, for instance. Because once you're up at Mars, if you're leaking oxygen, there's no input for the oxygen, so you're sort of doomed. And so they had these big greenhouses here with all sorts of different types of plants. They had deserts, and they had tropical rainforests. And so the idea was the waste that they produced was going back into the into the plants, and the plants were going to produce the oxygen for them. They were producing the CO2 for the plants, and so on and so forth. And it just went. It didn't work. It was they had to. There wasn't enough oxygen for the people that lived in there. It was like 12 people, and they really got all petty and hated each other. It was sort of not fun to live there for. I think they were trying to live there for a couple of years, and so it didn't. It wasn't a true closed system. But to be on Mars and to be on the Moon, we got to figure this out because you can't be losing matter, or especially matter, if that the only matter is what you bring with you. So an interesting problem for life on other planets. Lastly, examples of isolated systems. So that's what's an isolated system? Well, that's going to be, if that's the system diagram, you're going to have matter recycling, all right, but also you're going to have energy recycling too. Energy recycling a system. Hey, what could that be? Well, only possible is the universe. Okay? And so that's the only, and we're not even sure about that. Scientists aren't sure because we really can't prove it as a scientific question. You have to be able to write a hypothesis, and you got to be able to test it. And we can't test it because, well, it's too big. We don't even know the extent of it. But if, in theory, that's the answer to that question. So those are the notes for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it a little bit, and I hope you get a good night's sleep. Have a good day. Bye-bye.